A very good happy Thursday morning to everyone out there. Baby Friday has arrived. Hallelujah. Landon here in the driver's seat with you to bring you your latest weather and eye forecast, courtesy of our friends over at On Target. It's a very cold start for us out there early this morning, folks. Winds have subsided to an extent, along with clear skies, has resulted in the equation of those temperatures falling. You can see with this area of high pressure situated just south of the region, we got a few streaky clouds out there that are starting to develop early this morning. Those are going to clear out of here pretty quickly, folks, but don't be surprised you walk outside, is what we mentioned here over the course of this week. We've got the opportunity of seeing some frost out there across portions of the region. We're going to have another round of frost that could be possible tonight. A frost advisory has been issued. We might even have a few instances of a hard freeze that's reached, given the forecast at hand. All right, let's get a look across the region. We'll kick things off overlooking a Morgantown Skycam. Got the new construction there, Firehouse Pizza, the new Morgantown Bank and Trust, a modern state-of-the-art facility, along with the new Butler County Library being built back there in the background. Lots of building and growing there in the bustling Morgantown community, and we got clear skies over there for the most part early on this Thursday. Same can be said overlooking our WRUS Skycam down in Russellville. Got the morning commute starting to pick up there on 431, heading north out of the city underneath the moon and stars out there early this morning. Take a look at these readings, folks. We got temperatures that have plummeted all the way down. For some of us, all the way down into around the mid-30s. Got the northern tier of Warren County over here near the Corvette plant. Also over here in the flats of Woodbury, right off of 403. Over in Butler County, already dipped all the way down to the mid-30s. Basically, I guarantee you all are going to have some frost out there this morning. I'm going to be keeping highs on the chilly side as we work throughout today. This afternoon we'll be holding, I think, right around the lower 60s for the most part. Let's ship over here and let's talk about it, shall we? First and foremost, we're going to take a gander at those winds. Had those brisk westerly winds yesterday that kept a chill in the air out there and definitely felt cooler than the low and mid 60s we achieved for highs. We're going to progress throughout this morning. Everything's going to stay calm, and then as we work into this afternoon, we're going to have winds that are going to return. They're not going to be quite as strong as what we experienced here over the past few days. But a westerly wind component, folks, at 10 to 20 miles an hour is going to keep that chill in the air, despite rays of sunshine continuing to dominate. After we work past today, winds are all but going to subside as we progress throughout the remainder of the work week, all right? Here's a look at those temperatures, and we are going to be focusing and honing in on tonight in particular. Here we are working into this afternoon, right around the low and mid 60s region-wide. It's going to be a beautiful, chilly, crisp fall day out there for the most part. But look at tonight. Going to be falling all the way back down. Folks, it's seeing readings in the mid-30s. I think some of us, with the clear skies, we got an area of Canadian high pressure that's going to be diving overhead. I think some of us might dip all the way down to the lower 30s, or dare I say it, a few of the valley locations touch the mid and upper 20s. Might have a hard freeze out there very early tomorrow morning. That is something to take note of, all right? In addition to that, we want to get a look at the big picture here, what's going to be unfolding. And here we are looking at our Friday morning with where we just left off in the short-term model guidance. This is our area of Canadian high pressure that's going to be sliding off to the east, opening up the door to this shortwave and developing surface low to our west to try and track in our direction. Now, high pressure is going to try and play in our favor and keep that weather maker at bay, at least through the first half of the weekend. But as you'll take a look as we get into our Sunday, and Sunday afternoon in particular, this is how our setup is going to appear, all right? We got this low pressure system located across the deep south and the Gulf. Counterclockwise flow is going to be drawing up ample moisture out of this region up into our vicinity here across the lower Ohio Valley. Very little in the form of instability to work with, but it does look like scattered showers will be apparent as early as Saturday night. A few hit-miss showers out there, but it's going to become more prominent as we work into our Sunday afternoon on into our Sunday evening with this developing surface low down to our south, all right? Now we're going to work into our Sunday evening and throughout our Sunday night. We're going to keep those rain chances around. Wrap around here with all this coming off of the north and west side of the low. Scattered light showers. We got this monster trough that's going to be trying to work in here out of the north and west, but that's not going to arrive until later in the week. We get this other low pressure that tries to sneak down here from the Midwest down across our vicinity. Looks like it's going to be a chilly, messy early to middle part of next week, all right? Going to have these meandering scattered showers that are going to be hit and miss. Going to have this northerly wind component that's going to try to force itself down in here by the midweek time frame. High pressure working in tandem with that to create that northwest flow. We could get some of the coldest air of the season thus far as we work throughout a good chunk of next week. All eyes rolling into the Halloween holiday. And wouldn't you know it, Model Guidance is bringing a cold front through here. We mentioned here over the past couple of weeks about how right around Halloween time over the past several years, it seems more often than not we get a big front that comes through with some showers and storms impacting us at some point within the 24-hour period of the Halloween holiday. Looks like this could be a similar scenario. We're right here on the fringe or roughly a week out. Models trying to come into agreement. The low is deepening up here in the Midwest, but this cold front is going to extend all the way down to the south side of Texas, right along the border with Mexico. So this cold front's going to blast through here, folks, and as it does so, you're going to have this wraparound moisture that comes along with this pinwheeling upper low. And again, folks, it's going to be gusty winds, it's going to be cold and chilly, and dare I say it, might even have a little bit of frozen precipitation mixing here at times. Looking at our temperature profiles throughout the atmosphere. Don't shoot the messenger. Just be aware of that as we roll into not just Halloween, but on into the weekend to follow next week. We were just looking at the surface of what's going to be occurring during that time. Let's take a look at 20,000 feet up above our head for the same time frame, all right? So here we're looking at Tuesday morning of next week. We roll into Wednesday. We get that low that we were talking about that dives through here. And we're trying to get some ridging in here, but folks, look at this large-scale trough right here as we work into our Halloween holiday. Whenever that cold front blasts through here, look at this cold core low that's just going to dive right across the lower Ohio Valley. This is where our concern is, folks, with these gusty showers. Cold core lows could be bringing some cold air funnels in here. Could have some strong storms as a result as well. That'll be worth keeping eyes on, but folks, if nothing else, a promise, it would appear as that we're going to get a jolt of very cold air in here behind that cold front that's going to roll through here roughly on right around the Halloween time frame of next week, all right? So that is worth taking note of there, to say the least. Total rainfall amounts have been up. This has been on a pendulum swing back and forth all week, with us being in voodoo country over a week out. Models trying to come back into agreement with continued rain chances Sunday into Monday, potentially Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday on in the weekend to follow. We've got anywhere from an inch to 2 inches of total rainfall that can't be ruled out. Now, take this with a grain of salt, with this being a full week in advance. But if nothing else, this does spell out that we will be dealing with a very active pattern throughout a good portion of next week. Tropics remain somewhat active. We have got Tropical Storm Not So Sweet Melissa, if you will, that is churning right there just south and east of Jamaica. It's expected to become hurricane strength by the time we roll into our Saturday. Going to be keeping eyes on that to see exactly how this tropical system behaves, as it could have impacts with that Gulf low that's going to be impacting us next week. But again, that remains to be seen. Full 6-day forecast breakdown. Loads of sunshine today. Chilly westerly wind again. It'll be similar to yesterday, but wind's not quite as strong. Highs in the low to mid 60s for most. Friday, lesser on the wind scale. It should be beautiful out there underneath a mix of sun and clouds. Clouds will thicken up on Saturday ahead of that meandering low to our south, and then rain chances, perhaps a rumble of thunder rolling here on Sunday. Increase in coverage Sunday night, but we continue to keep those multiple rounds of showers in the forecast as we roll through Monday and Tuesday of next week. Some of us could potentially, at times, not be escaping 50s for highs, all right? That is going to wrap up your Baby Friday, aka Thursday morning weather or not forecast, presented by none other than On Target. You will